What's up, Lucky Gamers? It's Lucky Lux, and today we're going to be talking about your growth of your espers and how you can make them stronger with Ascension, how you can make them stronger with Resonance, and advancing your heroes to be able to push through some of the harder content in the game. So if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, comment down below what you guys think, and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to get more of this content, and click that bell, then we know when I upload. But anyways, let's go and hop into this video.
So what the night know that the ride or die. Know that the ride or die.
Alright, so first topic we're going to go over is advancement. Why is that important? Advancement is basically what you use to level up your units. As you know, when you get a unit, they start off at level 1, and so taking them to the next level is how you're able to do your Ascension, how they're able to get some extra stats. It just basically makes them stronger. Like any other game, you want to level up your units, right? You want to try to take them to the max level. But they have something interesting based off of their max level. So a 3-star, basically, max level is going to be level 30. So what you want to do is advance them, promote them, that way they can get a higher level cap, right? So we can advance Chengpu here, go ahead and promote her, and now she's going to be a wonderful 4-star. She gets an increase on her base stats, which we talked about that in our relic guide, how base stats are going to help you, especially for the percentile values on your relic. So this is something that you do want to make sure that you take advantage of, and then you can of course level her up as you need. Also, with the advancement, you have your abilities. So this is where you can level up your abilities, and you can get higher values on your abilities. You can get better damage values as well. So for Chengpu, she gets extra healing. You can lower your cooldown. So this is also important. Now it is random for abilities that have not been maxed out. So you will need these. And I will say, be careful on who you use them for. Make sure that it's a unit that you will absolutely use most of the time. I probably need to do a guide about some of the units that are pretty much more so universal, because there are some units that are good for specific situations, right? But then you want to level up the abilities of those units that you're going to pretty much always use, right? So a healer, I'm going to pretty much always use her. For instance, like Li Ling, he's my 5-star. He's really good for me. I'd probably upgrade his abilities. Whereas, you know, there's some people who are more so situational as a healer, like Helena. A lot of people are using her, but I feel like she's more situational. Same thing as like Arrows. So like, just be careful about the units that you're increasing. Of course, if they are your main and you just love them and you love their art, then just go ahead, increase everything on them for the advancement. But I'm just going over pretty much what I have. Also, I do want to point out, with leveling up those skills, I mean, it's going to be what gives you the difference in PvP, also for doing your trials, right? Because I mean, you're getting better values. Here I'm getting an increase of healing on the healing ability on Artemis. You're getting extra damage on your abilities. You're getting extra damage on your ult, sometimes even lowering the cooldowns. Again, lowering a cooldown and getting extra damage is what can honestly save you. You can get that cooldown that you need. You might have been a turn away, right? With leveling up those skills, you'll be fine. Or if you would have wished that you could completely just wipe out the first 2 rounds before you do the last boss with an AoE attack, these extra values are going to help you. That way you don't have to waste too many turns, and you can have everything that you need to fight the boss. All right, next we have Resonance. What is Resonance? Why is Resonance important? Resonance is going to give you, again, more flat values. Now, this is the thing that's not really controlled by farming as much. This is where if you summon multiple copies of that unit, you can resonate, and you get this purple mark over them for when you have pretty much resonated them. So I can resonate her, get another copy, and I get a second purple mark on this. And this is basically going to show that I have resonated this character. I get extra energy, and then I can put that into those base stats for her. And specifically for her, she's a healer that goes well with attack, so I'm going to go ahead and increase that. But you know, you have attack, defense, HP. It just depends on whichever unit that you have and how, like, you know, important these values are. And if you're not sure, if you really don't know which way the masses are going, you can hit popularity and you can see which way people are going with the stats. So as you see, Attack is chosen by 44%, but a lot of people do HP, and then some people do defense because a healer does need HP and defense, right? Just depends on how you're using them or how your team is set up. Especially with your gear, you can also use those stats to kind of counteract everything that you have going to kind of balance out those stats for you. So if you are a free-to-play player, I would say that Resonance is more important for you for your 4 stars and 3 stars. Those are the characters that I would honestly look at focusing on because you're going to have more copies of those characters. That's where you can get a 3-star who is fully resonated. You can get the increase in stats. You can get better stats than most players because not a lot of players are going to be focusing on those 3 and 4 stars. And the 3 and 4 stars, they can do content in the game. Don't get me wrong. If you get your relics together, right? If you follow everything that's in the relic guide and you get all those relics, you farm those relics, especially when you look at the trials, which I'll put a guide out for the trials. But if you're using your 3 stars and your 4 stars properly, then the 5-star that you have eventually will be outpaced by those other characters because they'll have better stats than them. And in PvP and in different trials, those 3 stars can be very useful. I mean, there's 3 stars that I use on my team that are pretty much amazing. Like I use Valkyrie, I use Cheng Pu. They're vital to my team. I use them a lot because I don't have a 4-star or a 5-star copy that I want to use right now. So again, take advantage of those 3 stars and 4 stars that you have, resonate them, get those base stats up, and again, like I said, they will outpace the 5 stars that other paid players have. All right, and so lastly, we're going to talk about Ascension and why it's important. Ascension is important because that's what gives you base stats, more flat values. Again, I'm not going to stop talking about this. It is very important. It is going to be what makes or breaks your character. So you see I already have my first Ascension up on her, and I need to get my second one, and then the third one is where it's most important. That's where you're going to be farming, using a lot of your stamina for, because this is where you can change your abilities and to get extra effects. So for this ability, her ult, it just does single target damage and inflicts freeze, right? But now it actually can do defense down, which is really good for bosses. So now I can pretty much save this ability for a high value target that I need to take out, get the extra defense down on that ability, and I can do more damage overall. So characters get different effects. Like my Neja, I have his, he gets extra healing on his second ability. So that's where he's, again, where I said more sort of a bruiser. On my Loki, if he gets his, he can get a chance to extend debuffs on a team. So if I'm doing debuff heavy things, I can extend those debuffs. On Cheng Pu, I like hers because she can actually grant immunity to my units. So these are going to be some of the stats that can pretty much save you whenever you're in arena. They can save you in point of war. They can save you in whenever you're doing boss fights. So Ascension is very important. It honestly, like when you're starting out in the game, you want to focus on Ascension. Farm this as much as you can. Use more of your stamina for this because it's you at least want to get that 3rd level up for the characters that you use. Don't go and do this for every single character in the game, especially if you don't have the stamina for that. Do it for the ones that you're really using. I'd say go for the look at the ability. You have a chance to peek at it and see if it's actually useful for you, right? Like, of course, if you're going for the base stats, that's fine, but go for the characters that you use and make sure the ability is useful. Because to me, like Artemis, on hers, it's not as important because all it does is just give you the 10% AP absorption from each enemy. Like, that's nice, right? But it's not necessarily like game breaking for her. So it's one that I'm a little slow on. Like, I'll just wait till I have some extras, but I'd rather increase it on another character, right? Like, I use Artemis, I love using her, but her Ascension's not as useful for me. So look at those characters where their Ascension is gonna completely make that ability do an extra effect that can honestly save you in different situations. So lastly, now you're going to be asking yourself, where can I get these mats? Where can I farm them? So we're going to be looking at advancement, Ascension, also getting your skills. So real quick, we'll take a look over here at the shop. So the shop has a lot of the stuff that you would need on the friendship shop. You can get the star mons that you want to promote 3-star units. You have the tournament shop, which is going to be probably one of the best ones because it has the ability mons and some star mons for pretty much every star. You have the cube shop, which gives you epic ability mons and also more starry mons. And then you have your club shops where you can get elite experimons and rare and epic starry mons as well. For experience, you can do that in story of course you can just farm missions, right? But in story, you can actually go to one of the chapters that you're working on. So for instance, I finished chapter 9, I'll just use that one. And off to the side, there is a mission that you can do to farm if you're needing to like beat the 8th level of that, right? You could just put this on multi-battle farm and you can get the experiments that you need. Now, if you are wanting to ascend a unit, right, to get that ascension, you can actually just click on the material which you need. It'll tell you where you can go to get it. Of course, you can convert them, but you can just fight the bosses that they have up. So there's Infernus up for my characters, also Wind Striker for my Loki. I've been farming these. This is where you're going to be using most of your stamina because you need to, again, Ascension is probably going to be the most important thing that you need to farm for, especially early game. Now, do this for the characters that you're going to be playing the most because it is taking your stamina and you want to make sure that you aren't like wasting it. So just don't just farm it just to farm it because it's up. Actually, like, say, hey, I'm going to ascend this character today and just go on the list of the characters that you have in priority. So I've been farming these two because I have characters in this, but I have more Wind Strikers, so I've been farming more Wind Strikers. And of course, you want to progress as high as you can because you can get more of the mats the further you go. So I need to progress this and level up my units. That way I can get as high as I can in this. But that's pretty much all I have for the Esper's growth guide. Pretty much just showing you why advancement, resonance, and ascension is important. Just remember, you can farm the XP materials and you can also get the materials that you need for ascension, and make sure that you guys are farming that ascension. You need to get those materials. Use most of your stamina for that. I know you probably want to farm the XP and get everybody leveled up, but the ascension honestly is more important. But that's pretty much all I have for this video, guys. If you like it, go ahead and like button, comment down below what you guys think, and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more of this content, and click the bell so you guys know when I upload. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You lucky gamers, have a good one.